What's up, everyone? It's Annabelle with That Good Shit, and today I'm here with.
Choker.
Woo! You are here on probably the nicest day of 2026 so far.
Low key.
How are you feeling right now?
Feeling awesome. We got people tossing the pigskin around out here. It's feeling like almost like a summer day. Low
Truly,
key. So it's soaking up the energy. It's nice.
the vibrations are high.
Yeah.
I'm super excited, and I have to say, honored to be here with you today. I've been listening to your music for a really long time,
Right.
and now we're here kind of celebrating the release of this new project, Heaven Ain't Sold. Amazing body of work. So, thank you for being here with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
First off, I'd love to start by talking about the event you just had last night. I came and saw you perform the album in this cool space, 66 Green. What was that experience like for you? How's it been doing these? I know you did 2 small shows in New York so far.
Yeah.
So how's that been for you?
It's been really cool. It's been tight seeing everyone come out and support and uh, getting to talk to people and hear about their experiences with the music, both the new album and stuff that they were listening to back in 2017, 2018. It's been honestly really cool tapping in with people and seeing what their journey has been since the time that I last released something. That's been a big topic of discussion, just like how much the time has shaped their, yeah, just their whole experience up to this point. It's really cool.
Yeah, I know you guys were saying that like there's some fans who you've been talking to out here that started listening when they were like 13 and
Yeah.
now they're like 20.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's cool that people
yeah.
are able to literally grow up with your music.
Yeah.
So that's really special. I'd actually love to know from your perspective, what were you listening to in those formative years, like when you were 13, 14? What music were you growing up with?
I was listening to a lot of Lil Wayne. I was listening to a lot of Frou Frou, of Montreal, everything, anything I can get my hands on, honestly. Cornelius was huge. Classic people like D'Angelo, Maxwell, just a wide range of stuff. I was just trying to listen to anything that kind of perked my ears up.
Yeah, what do you think is important or like extra impactful about the music you listen to in that time of your life, like the coming of age era?
Ooh, I think the biggest thing that I took away from it was just the freedom of expression and just how transformative it can be hearing someone just fully going into their emotions and yeah, just trying to get what feels like an honest depiction of where they're at across, and that's just something that I try to do now with my stuff.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's exactly what you've given people, especially like with your past work, what these kids were listening to when they were 13 and 14. I remember discovering you and just being like, I've never heard anything like this. This feels like such a pure expression of who he is and where he's at. I feel like in terms of genre, you blurred a lot of lines and really created something new that has been really impactful since, those earlier projects came out. So, gotta applaud you on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Big praise. Thank you.
And before we get into talking about the new album, Heaven Ain't Sold, which I have a lot to ask you about, I want to briefly touch on your earlier works just because you've built a real cult fan base around those earlier projects. And I wanted to ask you specifically about Honeybloom. What has like aged best for you from that project?
A particular song, maybe Rocket,
Okay.
honestly. That kind of transitional moment in the middle where it's like a arpeggiated synth kind of going and this like Indian vocal sample. Honestly, still is one of my favorite moments in a song that I've made. So
Yeah.
that definitely still holds up.
Is there any song from like your older works that you feel like is a vibe that's like closest to what we see on Heaven Ain't Sold?
Closest to what we see on Heaven Ain't Sold. That's a really good question. Maybe something like Windbreaker. Something where like the instrumentation is a little bit more, I guess, somewhat traditional. I feel like a lot of the older stuff I was experimenting with synths a lot and really just trying to make some of the weirdest sounds that I can come up with. And on Heaven Ain't Sold, I really wanted to try to get my songwriting game up, not only as a a lyrical songwriter, but also just like compositions and whatnot. So maybe something like Windbreaker, just because the homie Jeff was really, really, really good at guitar, kind of came through and was able to do something that honestly took me years to be able to do in terms of like, yeah, just writing what feels like a good song. Not saying that the stuff before that I was making weren't good songs, but I guess in a more traditional sense.
Let's definitely dive into this Heaven Ain't Sold, and even just starting with the first line you hear on the album of this Can We Start Again. I feel like that's a really cool way to open up this project after the hiatus that you had. Tell me about like starting out with that lyric and placing that song first on the track list.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit on the nose, but I think that's also kind of what I was aiming for with a lot of the stuff on this project. Not being too ethereal, honestly, with my approach. And when I say too ethereal, I'm not saying that's like a bad thing, but
Right.
just I think I needed a lot of grounding when I was making this album. So then naturally, that's what kind of came out expression-wise. So yeah, I just wanted to state a lot of things very plainly and be cool with that. And I think to varying degrees, not to be self-deprecating, I think there's varying levels of executing that how I wanted to on this project. But I will say on Geppetto, I feel like that's one of the better executions of me kind of getting into what I was feeling in a more plain spoken way, but also still having the beauty that I'm seeking when I'm trying to describe something.
100%. I feel like you struck that balance really well throughout the whole project. Like, there are moments where you're stating what you're feeling in a very clear, straightforward sense, and those lines can be just like really striking. But then also, I feel like the development in your lyricism is really beautiful. You're just, again, creating all these beautiful lyrics to describe what you're feeling in sometimes a more like artistic, or what's the word I'm looking for, abstract way.
Sure.
And yeah, I feel like you strike that balance really well. Another line like that I think was really plain, straightforward, and like kind of hit me like a bus was when you were saying on Uneven, crazy song. I thought you didn't want kids. Why are you talking babies with him?
Yeah.
Like, my heart when I heard that line, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Tell me about writing that.
I just think it can be difficult having different expectations than someone and really badly wanting to be on the same page and wanting someone to care as much as you care, and then maybe following something like that kind of falling apart, then firsthand seeing that someone else is getting that level of care that you're seeking. Yeah, it's just tough.
That shit
This
sucks.
shit sucks. It's just
How do
bummy.
you cope with an experience like that?
Keep it pushing. Simple as that. You keep it pushing. You gotta get in where you are received how you want to be received. You know, so I think it can be tough at times to not be on the same page, but I do think eventually you find the same page that you're looking for.
Yeah,
You
you
know.
do learn from it
You learn.
at the end of the day,
You learn from it.
and we gotta feel that deep pain to later find joy.
For sure.
So,
For sure.
but yeah, that was a heartbreaking line when I heard that. Like, that was crazy. I want to turn to a more kind of like bright moment on the album that I really enjoyed, which was the single Proof. I was just talking with my friend before coming over here just about how much we love the song and how happy we were that you chose that as a single for the album. Tell me about just like the energy in the room when you made that song, because it just feels like this very bright, kind of sunny, fun energy.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the ones where it had a very palpable excitement, and it actually came together relatively easily. So, yeah, I think I just wanted to lead with something that felt very striking to me and had a certain force to it. Overall, all in all, that song very much carries a lot of strength for me,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to kind of put my best foot forward, so to speak, with that one.
You did that. If Proof were to score a scene, like maybe a movie scene, what do you think that would like look like and feel like?
Oh, that's a really good question. If proof would score a movie scene, I feel like it would be honestly kind of something similar to what we ended up doing for one of the vignettes surrounding the album, where it's like an outdoor sort of function thing,
Mm.
where I feel like it would be like a party on the block at night. Probably like a band on stage performing. They'd be performing proof, and then you're kind of snaking through the crowd, seeing all the different people who made it out to the function. Something
Yeah.
like that.
I love that. I feel like the energy when you take that song on tour is going to be crazy.
I I hope so. I think it will be. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what kind of cool things we can add to the live rendition to get the energy even higher.
Yeah, speaking of tour, yeah, like what are you kind of planning for this tour? What can people expect when they come to see these live shows?
Um, I just want to evolve the songs.
Mm.
You know, I want them to still serve the purpose that they did in the studio version in terms of what I was trying to get across, but I just want to kind of advance them storyline wise, I guess. You know, I think every song has its own life and its own energy to it that at a certain point, you know, uh, I'm kind of just corralling and just trying to direct in certain ways. And yeah, I just want to continue to lead them down the path where hopefully they sound even better than they did when I initially made them.
Yeah. Are there any performers that you've seen in your life that maybe inspire how you approach doing that, expanding the songs in a live setting and kind of making them even more than they were just on the listening when the album comes out?
Um, I never saw him in my life, but I think probably my North Star for performance is D'Angelo,
Yeah.
where I'm just like, yeah, he was just an incredible, incredible conduit in a live setting, and I feel like the way that he was able to channel in those moments felt really, really special. And I always feel like if I can even grasp maybe like 5% of a similar kind of approach or a similar kind of energy, that I'm doing something right. So he's definitely the main person that I look towards. Where I don't know, I've seen a billion of his videos performing live and listened to so many different recordings of live renditions he's done. Where that's definitely one of the main things that's pushing me forward.
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it.
Big rest in peace.
Big rest in
Big
peace.
rest in peace.
You were mentioning D'Angelo kind of as a conduit, channeling like this energy in his performances, and I know you've described yourself in a past interview I saw recently also like as a conduit, and a big part of what you're doing with your music, with your performance, is channeling your emotions and also channeling the emotions of the collective and of the world and putting that through your own perspective. What is it like for you when you're in like your peak creative mode, probably just in a session or wherever you're most comfortable creating music? Some might say your flow state. What is it like for you, like mentally and emotionally, when you're in that space, when you're channeling? What does it feel like for you?
It's weird to describe because it feels like almost like you're not there, like almost like time doesn't exist, and you really are kind of just open to any sort of, yeah, I guess energy that's passing through the room. But then there's also like a hyper presence to it and a level of focus where it doesn't even feel like I'm making decisions at that point if I'm really in a flow state. Things are just kind of happening. I guess maybe that's why it's described as like channeling something, because it really feels like it's coming from someplace else. And I do believe that it's coming from someplace else. And then, yeah, it's just kind of going through your natural filtering system where I'm sure, you know, my experiences and the context that I have in my life is influencing what is actually making it out from whatever the initial source is. But yeah, it's a weird in between where you're there but you're also not really there.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you experienced that feeling?
Oh, the first time I experienced that feeling. Honestly, I used to experience that feeling sometimes when I played sports. So maybe the first time I experienced that feeling probably be like in elementary school, playing basketball, playing like in AAU or something, kind of cooking,
Ooh.
feeling like I'm kind of, yeah, everything is just kind of happening right now. That's what, yeah, it's like, I feel like when you're really in a flow state, it really doesn't even feel like you're making decisions or that you're, uh, yeah, things are just kind of going where they're supposed to go in
Yeah.
that moment. Yeah.
Do you feel like now, when you're creating, is it pretty easy for you to tap into that state, or how often do you find yourself in that flow?
Honestly, I feel like for the past few months, happily, it's been pretty easy for me to get into that state. But yeah, I mean, I've had long periods of time where for months at a time, maybe even like a year or something like that, where it feels like I maybe only get into that once in a very long span of time. So definitely very grateful now to feel like I'm in a good, consistent flow whenever I actually sit down and try to make something.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Tell me about a moment in the process of making this album where you had a breakthrough, where you just like broke through that wall and had like a brilliant idea that ended up on the final project.
I mean, Proof felt that way. Geppetto honestly felt that way too. Yeah, I think when I was kind of a little bit further in the process of Geppetto and I started to record some of the background vocals and I was kind of doing the different takes and kind of like placing them left and right and having them kind of ping pong back and forth. I think that really felt like I was kind of getting into something that I'd been trying to do for a long time, but wasn't even kind of consciously aware that I wanted to do that until I started doing it. And I was like, okay, now this actually feels like something kind of bespoke and special to me.
Okay, I have a fun little series of questions now on the theme of top threes.
Sure.
So, first thing I want to ask you is one of the most iconic parts of your artistry is your falsetto.
Okay.
You hit these incredible high notes,
Okay.
and it's really beautiful. Last night, I was gagged when you came out and like hit these high notes.
For sure.
So I want to know your three top falsettos from any artists.
I might have to give number one to Maxwell. I'll throw Prince. I'll throw Prince up there for sure. Two was very easy for some reason.
That third.
Coming up with a third is hard. Third is hard. I'll go D'Angelo. That's easy. That's easy.
That's real.
Those are like my three just like vocal masters. So I'm just like any range. They're killing any range.
Yeah, love that. Okay, next top three. Obviously, you just came off of a 7-year hiatus, which is a big talking point around this album and just your artistic journey. So I want to know your top three artist hiatuses.
Top three artist hiatuses. I'm fucking with the Rihanna hiatus right now. Loving that. Honestly.
The anticipation is building.
Kudos.
Yes.
Run it up. Fuck it.
Wait 5 more years.
Get to it when you get to it.
Yeah.
We'll be around. We'll be chilling. D'Angelo was taking his time to wait for Black Messiah. It was a nice little pocket. I feel like he definitely delivered as well when he came
Definitely.
through. Oh, yeah. Andre 3000. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love how, Andre will pop out, give you some bars every few years and be like, I'm still the best rapper. And then he skedaddles, gets out of there, comes back, it's like, here's some flute. And it's gorgeous. It's awesome. He's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andre 3000.
Shout out to Andre 3K.
If you ever want to give us a rap project again, we will appreciate it. But also, I think if he never drops again,
He's done enough.
he's done enough.
He's done more than enough. I feel like that's the thing sometimes, especially when it's an artist that really has like a vast discography, where I'm just like, yo, they've given you a lot of themselves, a lot of vulnerability. And yeah, if he so chooses to want to present more music in the specific format that people clamor towards, then cool. But also, if he just wants to cool, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna run back the verses when I need them.
Yeah.
And I'll also receive whatever you're on currently, whether it's flutes, whether it's, anything.
He could literally do anything, and I would tune
Can
into
do
it. He
whatever.
could
I
do
will.
literally
I'm
anything.
showing up.
I'm
I'm
in the
right
front.
there. Yeah.
Last top three question. Top three favorite memories of making Heaven Ain't Sold.
It was really fun shooting the album cover stuff with the homie Tyler. That was just a great time and such a hands-on process as well. So that was super fun. I mean, it's hard for me to pinpoint one of the specific moments of making music that was super fun because I'm not gonna lie, like as much as I've talked about it being difficult, I feel like all any moment that something was seemingly working or going in the direction that I wanted just felt like such a triumph, and I got so much joy from those moments. So in in some total, I'd say just the whole process ended up really, really, really being fun at the end of the day, especially when I kind of caught my stride towards the end of the process. On the last song, Angel Station, a lot of the percussion stuff that I recorded with the homie Teo, recording that stuff was really fun because we were just like in his studio, just grabbing whatever we can find and just kind of like shaking it around in front of the mics and stuff like that. And we're just like having crazy laughing fits, just trying to look for stuff that might sound kind of cool and then warping in Ableton and throwing all kinds of weird effects on stuff to try to get some cool textures. So that was really fun.
That sounds super
It was
fun.
mad fun.
Just like you're at the end of the process, just kind of like messing around,
Yeah, just
throwing ideas out
grabbing
there,
whatever and just
shaking stuff.
seeing if it sounds cool.
Let's talk a little bit more about, the visual world you've built with the project, the cover, just kind of, the whole visual world. Tell me about the process of building that, who you were working with, and the inspiration behind all of it.
I mean, really, if he was here, he would have all of the answers. But my friend Tyler did all of the visuals from this project, from the cover art to the booklet design to directing the music videos to literally any asset you ever see online or any poster or whatever. He does all of that stuff. And we're always just in conversation about what makes sense with the music, and it's so easy just playing something for him and him pretty quickly having something that visually represents what I was going for very accurately. And I think it's just because we've worked together so long. But I think tangibility was a really big thing. Just all of the art having a very lived in, physical feeling to them to kind of expand on that feeling of time passing and things not only growing and evolving, but also things deteriorating or wilting away. So we wanted, we wanted things to feel a little aged and a little worn, but also have a warmth to them that comes with something being worn, but it's familiar, and it's something that you can return to. So yeah, I just think the the biggest thing was having things that felt lived in and felt like maybe they have their own soul within them, object wise.
Yeah, it all came together beautifully. We have a CD right here, and I like the. Tell me a little bit more about. Well, I'm sure, like you said, Tyler could explain in more depth, but the broken glass.
Yeah, I mean, we knew from the jump we wanted to do a portrait because we wanted it to be very forward facing and wanted there to not be we wanted to kind of get away from uh, any obscuring. So we decided to go with a portrait, and then it just kind of made sense. I had some lyrics in the album about things kind of breaking and falling apart and whatnot, and then trying to sort through those pieces to find, a new thing, a new positive way to go for yourself. And this is just a really good representation of that feeling, having this portrait that was printed on glass and then literally took a hammer to it, broke it up, and then we're kind of grabbing little pieces and slivers from other portraits and throwing them in there, and coming with this new version of yourself that's made up of past versions of yourself. You know, it's still you, but it's a new version of you. It's your present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Again, you guys really did your thing for such a big moment in your career, like a comeback like this. You guys really executed with the visuals specifically. So
Thank you.
well done, and shout out to Tyler.
Big shout out to Tyler.
Big shout out to Tyler. Moving forward, as you put this project out into the world, you're going on tour. What do your goals look like now? Like, what's kind of on the horizon for you? What are you looking forward to? All of that.
I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the shows in June, because yeah, I wanna be out there more, seeing people, sharing space, sharing energy, hopefully offering a very cool environment for like-minded folks to meet up and hang and listen to some good music, and also maybe make some new friends or deepen their connections with their existing friends. Besides that, I mean, I'm looking forward to sharing more music. I'm looking forward to hopefully collaborating with people more. You know, I feel like this specific album, Heaven Ain't Sold, was a very insular process. So I'd love to branch out more and yeah, just meet more like-minded people for sure.
Totally. Do you have any dream collaborations in mind?
I feel like every time someone asks this question, the first thing that pops into my head is usually Maxwell. This is, I'm like, I would just love to. Yeah, he just has such a force to him, and I would love to try to meet him in the middle, see what we would come up with.
I would love to see that.
I would, yeah. I've been saying it over and over again. I might literally, I don't know. I'm very shy, but maybe I don't know if he's got the gram. Maybe I'll DM him or something. I don't know.
Maxwell, if you happen to stumble across this,
Please.
tap inwards.
Goat, my God. Please.
You know what to do. If you could think about like this whole last 7-year process of creating this project, if you could think about one lesson that you took away from this whole experience that you're carrying forward with you, what would that be?
Giving yourself the grace that you give others, I'd say. I think it can be easy with people that you care about to be patient with them, and also to meet them where they're at and have just a level of understanding that can be very hard to offer to yourself. So I think through this process I learned how to give that to myself more, give myself more grace, be patient with myself, be honest with wherever I'm at in the moment, and being accepting of that, and knowing that if I want to change where I'm at, that I'm fully capable of doing that, and that it's a process, you know, and you just have to maintain that trust in yourself.
That's a great reminder to everyone. I think like it's really important to be kind to yourself. I feel like this world is really hard on all of us in a lot of ways, whether it be capitalism or negative energy online. There's so many different forces trying to like make us feel bad about ourselves.
For sure.
And I think one of the strongest things in the world is compassion, and we give it out to other people so easily. Like it's so important for us to support each other, but yeah, it's important to turn it inwards and give that compassion to yourself.
For sure.
You know, so
And also, the more that you're cultivating that within yourself, the more that you'll have to offer to other people as well.
100%. The more your cup is full, the more you have to give others.
For sure.
And it's a positive feedback loop.
For sure.
And when you're good to yourself, you're good to the world.
For sure.
Last thing I want to ask you is just what you've been listening to lately. What music have you been enjoying? Any artists you're excited about?
I've been listening to this older artist, Phonem, a lot. Some really cool electronic music. Been listening to a lot of older funk stuff. Junie Morrison, Bernie Worrell, Johnny Guitar Watson. What else? What else have I been on lately? Just rinsing a lot of older stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Rinsing a lot of older stuff. I've been listening to a lot of Janet lately. Always listening to Janet. What's one more? I'm trying to think of like a sneaky one. A little sneaky one.
Sneaky.
A sneaky one. I've been listening to a decent amount of doo-wop Kane lately.
Okay, love that.
Yeah. Doo-wop is incredible.
Thank you for spending time with me today. It's
Thank
really
you.
nice
Thank you
talking to
for
you.
having me.
Yeah, of course. Is there anything else you would like to tell the people, the choker fans of the world?
Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Trying to just keep this thing going, share more stuff, make more music, meet up more, whether it be pop up things or shows or whatever, just trying to keep doing this thing. I'm deeply appreciative of y'all supporting me doing what I be doing.
I think I can speak for everyone when I say we're all very grateful for you, all the work you put in to this project, and also just everything you've made up to this point. Like, your music has influenced a lot of people, scored a lot of beautiful moments in many people's lives, and just inspired a lot of us. So we're all grateful for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
thank you. Cool. And we'll see you guys later.